A lot of people want to know, if they plant their own hanging basket, how long will it take until it looks like
Some of those big beasts
one of the
back
big
there.
guys? Like, how long will it take till it gets nice and big and full? Because they don't want to plant it and then be waiting until, the end of July.
Right.
So what should you be doing? And how do you,
Expecting, kind of
what
that
should you be
growth.
looking for?
And what can you do to get this hanging baskets, taking them from here to nice and big, beautiful, those showstopper hanging baskets that we have in the background there. So just a little background of, a lot of hanging baskets are gone, especially going through that early part of the season, and we just don't have the room to grow all the hanging baskets. So now we go into that second, third, fourth planting, and we, time is kind of crunched, and we need to get some hanging baskets out for sale. So we need to really push them and get them going. But let's talk a little bit about what we do, how we plant them, and then take them from there.
Right. So on let's say our second planting, we'll take plants that are like this size.
Mm-hmm. So 4-inch containers.
Yeah. And this one I had cut back, and I'm going to show you the growth on here, but I had cut this all the way back. But you can see the ones that I put in here, I didn't cut back. I just left them full and planted them right in. But they were in a container, like a 4-inch size container. Planted it up, and then we're going to fertilize it.
Yes.
Regularly.
And especially early on, to push that growth, we normally advise at least once a week. So, but these are getting pushed. Whether a lot of times these hanging baskets are getting a constant feed, so they're constantly getting fertilized. Not at the full strength. I'll bring it down a little, maybe to that half strength level. But every time I'm watering them, they're getting fertilized, and that pushes that fast growth. And I'll do that for an extended period of time, and then kind of get back into that habit of about once a week. But yeah, they're getting juiced quite a bit right now.
And when we're planting them up, and you're not gonna see a lot happening, because it's all happening
Underneath,
down in the roots.
Yeah, where you can't see it. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you'll start seeing, and I'm gonna show you on this one, you'll start seeing all that new growth starting down here. And that also applies when we say to cut back your petunias or to cut back your impatiens. You're gonna see that growth happen way down low, and it's gonna really get bushy. And you can see that happening throughout this basket.
Yeah, it's filling in, and it happens fast. So especially with these super petunias, they're bred to grow.
And once you see it at this stage, within a week, that's gonna look like a completely different basket.
Yes, we come back in a week's time with the constant feed of the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer, and you're not gonna recognize this hanging basket. It's gonna go up for sale, within that week or so. Especially with when the weather cooperates, we can do all that we can internally, feeding it correctly, getting in the right placement. But you got to have that sunshine. So
important.
As long as everything is clicking along, and we have a full 2 weeks of beautiful sunshine, this will be unrecognizable in that next week and 2 weeks. It's going to be big and beautiful.
So normally expect there to be I would say a 2 week, at least 2 week, from the time that you plant your plants to the time that they're starting to really show that they're getting beautiful and crusting over.
But you talked about trimming back, and that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. But generally speaking, we don't trim back our hanging baskets. So we plant them, and we just get them into the sunshine. When they're lanky for us, there's a reason. There's a reason, because they're competing against one another. So this, you would say, looks kind of lanky, and I know a lot of, if I put this into one of the the Super Petunia Facebook groups, 100 people are gonna be like, cut it back. Stop. You don't always have to cut it back. This gets into the sunshine, and it has correct watering and correct fertilizing. It's going to explode with growth with no cutting back. So there's not really a wrong answer, but we're not going to cut this back, because in a week it's going to fill in.
The reason that it's lanky right now is because it was competing with other plants around it
in 4-inch containers.
In a 4-inch container.
Pot tight.
And it was trying to find out where its room in life was.
Yeah, exactly. It's crawling out, trying to find that sunshine. And So once we put them into a hanging basket, we get this hung up and it's not touching, it's not competing, it has full sunshine all the way around. This is gonna explode with growth. So that's, that's one of those things is when you have a lanky hanging basket, and this is a whole nother topic. A lot of times I'm reading these comments, I'm like, stop, time out. You don't have to necessarily trim back a hanging basket. Sometimes it's appropriate, but a lot of times something's wrong. So if you have a lanky hanging basket, petunia basket, fix the problem.
Right.
The problem probably is it's not in the correct amount of sunlight. They've got it in way too much shade. They're not watering it correctly. They're just flippant with the care. I mean, that's going to be probably 95% of it. They're not feeding the hanging baskets. They're super petunias. They need to be fed, and they're heavy feeders. And if you're not fertilizing at least once a week with the fertilizer, yeah, they'll be lanky because they're not getting the nutrients. So sometimes with the lanky petunias, we gotta say time out, stop, fix the problem, and get it on track. This will be, you would call, maybe many people will call this a lanky hanging basket. It won't be in a week.
No, there's so much growth way down deep in here.
Yeah, you can see how much it's growing. Yeah, it's.
And even along each of these, there's so much growth.
All of this, yeah.
So it's gonna explode this way. It's gonna explode this way. I'm so excited because we've had the sunshine.
Yeah.
And you've been fertilizing it properly, and these were only planted last week.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's that much growth in
it went
one
from
week.
that to this in just that week. And this week, we know that they've rooted into the good soil, and they're going to really just take off, and they're going to look gorgeous in a week.
So yeah, don't be scared to buy your own plants to plant your own basket. But you have to remember, you have about a 2-week time frame with proper care and sunshine until that basket starts really filling out. And that's okay. You're gonna have that in between time.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about how many plants. Okay, so this is a 12-inch hanging basket. You planted these up. So what
a lot of people are gonna have a fit with this because
okay.
you do 1 or 2 super petunias in a 12-inch basket and it be really full? Yes, you can, because they get huge. Will it be more airy and spacey? Yes.
It's not going to be as
That's not what
impressive.
we're known for.
Yeah.
We're known for these big, thick, huge mounding baskets. And how do you do that? You overstuff it.
Well, it's not. It's appropriate because people will say,
Yes.
with this 12-inch hanging basket, do they have to transplant? Do they have to bump it up to another size hanging basket? No, our customers don't do that. So
We
no,
don't
not
do that.
necessarily. Is it going to be root bound? Root bound is not an issue. It's not an issue if it's being fed. Yeah, could you pull this out and it's got lots of roots? Yeah, they're supposed to. But is it an issue? No, as long as your care is correct and you're feeding them correctly.
So I have 5 super petunias in this.
But that's what we have.
It
mean,
is.
a 12-inch hanging basket, that's our rule of thumb. Whether
Yes.
it's geraniums or anything else, in a 12-inch hanging basket, typically 5
I've
plants.
done 4 and it turns out beautiful, and it's thick and it's beautiful. But that 5th one right in the middle gives it that height and not that bald spot, because
So
they
they
want
just-
to stretch out this way and hang over. So I've tried doing the 4 and I haven't been overly happy with that. I want that ball. I want it to not just crest over the basket. I want it to like mound
up and out. That perfect circular, And that middle one is growing up and pushing out everybody else too, so it forms that nice ball.
And you know what else it does? It locks everybody in. So when you have the rainstorms, when you have the windstorms, they're not getting tossed around and broken as much because they're all so intertwined that they're kind of holding as a structure together. Can you get away with less? Yes, you can. Are you going to get like what we have behind us? Probably not. because it's thick and you're not going to see that undergrowth. You're not going to see the air through it. It's just going to be thick and beautiful and massive.
Yeah, and let's address something else. Deadheading.
No, we don't deadhead.
Yeah, because I know people are gonna be like, I would never want that, Betty. That's too much deadheading. Cool. You know what you do not need to deadhead? Like those behind us, super petunias.
Can you imagine the work I'd have
We don't
with
do
that?
any deadheading on super petunias because you don't need to.
If you are somebody that really is,
Obsessive compulsive.
yeah, or they just like to pick at stuff, it's not going to hurt it. You can deadhead all you want. I don't care.
You don't need to.
But you don't have to, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Now, there's other plants that are not in the Super Petunia series that, yes,
Yeah,
and
you
they're
have to
petunias,
deadhead.
and they're mounding, and they look beautiful. But yes, they need deadheading. So pick your plant.
Deadheading, super petunias, you don't need to.
See, look at I could sit and do this, but do I need to? No, the wind's gonna take care of that.
It's gonna take care of it.
Also, can I also say, when you have a large hanging basket and you have that many in there and it's getting big and full and starting to drape down, it's normal to not have blooms on the underside of that basket.
Yeah.
And it's normal to have a little bit of the
Dead foliage, really.
dead foliage.
If it doesn't see the sun, or on a back side. So if you have this hanging kind of out in the sun, but you have a covered porch, that back side will
just got dripped on.
That backside will have some dead foliage on the back, and that is normal. And if you take and look underneath this, or on a really thick hanging basket where this foliage is just that gripping ball that we were talking about, you look up in the center, it's all going to be dead in there because it's not seeing any sunlight at all.
Right. And that's like on our building, we have them on. There's an overhang. The baskets hang out, and then they're great big balls, and they look like great big balls. But if you look from the inside of the building out, there's no blooms on that back side.
Yeah.
Because there's a problem.
Yeah.
The problem is there's no light.
Yeah. And our hanging baskets on our building are on the north side and the east side. So that would be not ideal.
Correct.
Sunlight. But they do awesome. Why do they do awesome? Good care.
Force them.
Yeah, good care, and they're being fed with the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer. So those two will make up for not the idealistic conditions for super petunias.
But if they're stretching, you need to figure out why are they stretching.
Okay, so
speaking of fertilizer,
so our Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer is the reason that those hanging baskets look awesome and our flowers look fantastic, and we want to highlight one of our new Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer retailers, and that is Montrose Greenhouse in Montrose, Michigan. So one of our brand new retailers.
Beautiful.
So
yep, and if you aren't in the Michigan area, you can go on the beatyourneighbor.com website and go to the retailer locator map and see who is in your area. And if you are a greenhouse and you're not on that map,
shame.
you need to reach out to us.
Yeah.
info@beatyourneighbor.com. If you have reached out to us and you think we haven't gotten back to you, it's probably in your spam folder.
There you go. Yeah.
So we'll be more than happy to give you the information how to become a retailer by emailing us.
And if you want retailers at your local greenhouse, this is your job. Okay, this is your challenge. If you should accept it, let those greenhouses know. Because I guarantee you, when you walk in the door and you say, "Hey, do you have Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer here? Do you carry that?" And they're like, "No," and you say, "Well, I would buy it here if you did." And when those people start saying that, those greenhouses contact us. I guarantee it. So if you're looking for that local retailer and you don't find it in your area, this is your job. So accept that challenge. Walking into those greenhouses, those local stores. It doesn't have to be just a greenhouse. We've got a lot of retailers that are hardware stores. They're boutique stores that are carrying our fertilizer, and they have fantastic success with it. So
we really, really suggest that you use your local greenhouses. Please, please, please.
Which are small businesses.
Yes, go support the small businesses. If they don't have it, and if somebody's not in your area, we can ship it directly to your door. And you can go on the beatyourneighbor.com, go in the shop section, and in 48 states we can ship it to you. But we really, really, really ask you to please use those retailers first.
Sure. All right. Off with our day.
All right.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.